Well, it's time for Sunday Live Sports. Good evening. I'm Bernard Ndong, and staying true with the theme of the coronavirus outbreak globally, well, one particular thing that has been affected significantly is sports. Now, remember, the World Indoor Championships are supposed to be held in Nanjing, China. Well, that has been postponed until 2021. I'm talking about athletics. The Tokyo Marathon, it happened today morning, and it only allowed elite athletes to take part, as opposed to having the participants, the residents from Tokyo, actually participating in the race as well. Even the volunteers, they scaled down significantly in terms of everyone who's being involved in this particular marathon. Only about 300 elite athletes took part. No local Tokyo resident took part, as has been the norm in previous years, where about 30,000 people were expected to take part. Athletics was affected, football as well. The Chinese Super League was postponed. And also 5 Italian Serie A matches have been cancelled. Remember, Italy has borne the brunt of this particular outbreak, with almost over 1,000 cases being registered in the European country. One of the countries that has been significantly affected, especially in North Italy. 5 Italian Serie A matches. Remember, even yesterday, there's supposed to be a match that should have been taking place. And that was, of course, Inter Milan. They were playing against Juventus, top of the table clash. That was postponed. AC Milan was supposed to be playing as well today. That game was postponed. Of course, it's been interesting in terms of some of the decisions that have been made by some of the international football teams, especially in the English Premier League. Now, listen to this. Newcastle and West Ham had asked their players not to shake hands in training. International friendlies are expected as well. And the Euro 2020 qualifiers later this month, well, it'll be interesting to see whether those will be happening, given the fact that this coronavirus outbreak has taken such a significant toll in Europe. Another sport that has been adversely affected, this is rugby. The Hong Kong and Singapore Sevens that were, of course, supposed to take place next month, that has been postponed to October. Remember, we have the Los Angeles Sevens and Vancouver Sevens that will be happening in the next few weeks. The Los Angeles Sevens, of course, concludes tonight, and the Vancouver Sevens will be coming up. It was supposed to be Hong Kong and Singapore next. That has been pushed to October. The Six Nations, if you're a fan of the Six Nations, Ireland versus Italy, that match was set to be held in the 6th and 8th, the weekend of the 6th and the 8th this month. That has been postponed. Motorsport. Formula One, you remember that the Shanghai GP was supposed to be held as well. Well, that has been postponed, despite the fact that F1 were very confident that this particular race would be held. Well, that has been postponed. And also Formula E, this is for vehicles that use electricity. This has also been postponed to a later date. 2 major motorsport events have been affected. That is 4 wheels. Let's take a look at 2 wheels. Cycling. The United Arab Emirates had a cycling tour happening, and then it was cancelled midway because 2 members from one of the teams tested positive for the virus. And I understand that Chris Froome, the British rider, has been cleared to go back home. Of course, he was participating as well, and he had to be quarantined as well. He had to do what we call self-isolation, and he has been cleared to return back to the United Kingdom because of how this particular virus has affected cycling. And of course, that was the cycling tour that was happening in the United Arab Emirates. Another sport that has also been affected, table tennis. The World Championships in South Korea, they have been pushed to June from this month. They're supposed to be held this month. Well, they have been pushed from table tennis. We look at tennis as well. Romania, they were supposed to be facing off against China in the Davis Cup. Well, China had to withdraw, and that, of course, match was pushed or cancelled in this particular case for another later date. World Tennis Association has also cancelled the Xi'an Open that was supposed to be happening in China in the month of April. Ali, of course, I touched on rugby sevens. I mentioned that the Hong Kong and Singapore Sevens have been postponed, but a tournament that is currently underway is the Los Angeles Sevens. Remember, of course, it changed from the Las Vegas Sevens to the Los Angeles Sevens, and it's now, which is happening right now. The national sevens team, I understand, is currently facing off against Wales. They are playing the Welsh in the semi-final for the 13th place after losing 28-19 to Samoa in the quarter-final for 9th place. Shujaa had earlier lost to Canada and South Africa in the group stages and have only won 1 game so far. The Los Angeles Sevens, the United States, having beaten Ireland 29-12 in their second group game.